first ASMR video, technically, but it's the first one that, well, I guess it's the first legitimate one, is the way I'm gonna phrase it, because I did make one on my sort of personal channel, where I don't really put up videos anymore. I haven't in years, but it's just sort of well, actually I don't even use that channel anymore. I use another one, but anyway, I did make one a couple years ago. It was really bad. I had just woken up and I was just sort of rambling about the dream I had just had while I could remember it, because I thought it was interesting, but it wasn't really ASMR-ish. Because my voice was all like raspy, and I had just woken up and I hadn't even gotten out of bed. I just grabbed my phone and it was on. I recorded it on my phone and it was really shitty quality. But years later now I have proper equipment for everything. Hopefully the mic is good. The mic is a couple years old and the wires inside the cable are starting to go. So I have to hold the cable taut and also hold the microphone on the desk so that it doesn't fall off. But that's what I have to do to make the microphone work. It's a Samsung Meteor mic, and it's pretty good for a USB microphone. Obviously it's not going to get the same results as some of the higher grades, like some of the more like really professional stuff, but I ain't made of money, so USB mic is gonna have to do. I got the mic initially because I was doing abridging stuff with my friend. We'd been doing it for years, and we wanted to get more serious about it, so we got a legitimate, semi-legitimate microphone, which was this. I'm not trying to plug myself or anything like that, so don't get that idea. All that stuff was kind of a few years ago anyway, and we're redoing everything, but we're also adding new stuff. So I'm not gonna plug myself right there, because I'm kind of embarrassed of the stuff we put out before, because the stuff we're working on now is just a lot better. But yeah, that's how I got the mic. And I also got this, well, the reason that this is, I don't know, it's not really a Let's Play, it's just sort of the reason why I'm putting gameplay footage in there isn't for views or whatever. I really don't give a shit if like 5 people see it, or if 100,000 people see it. I just want to give back to the ASMR community in some way, because I've been I've experienced ASMR my whole life, but since, well, really, like at least like 6-7 years now, I've been making use, I guess, of ASMR videos. That long ago, I don't remember if actual like ASMR was like an official thing, or if we just had to go, or if those were still the days of just Miss Lita and golf commentary and some stuff on like C-SPAN, and of course Bob Ross. We had to sort of improvise our tingles. It wasn't nearly as saturated or easy to access. And back then it was like, it's still great now, but back then it was like absolute heaven, like when you'd go and experience like natural ASMR, like out in the world, like in an office or something like that. Just because it was so rare, and you didn't really understand what it was yet, because it wasn't really a thing yet. experience was, and like I thought I was like the only one in the world that experienced it, and it turns out there's like hundreds of thousands of people that do as well. And so that was really exciting to me, not only because it was easier to experience, but also because, I knew what it was, and also, it was cool that other people experienced it. It's always cool when you find out you're not alone in whatever it is. But anyway, I kind of got sidetracked there. The reason that I'm using game footage in ASMR videos is because the same friend that I bridge with, we were also going to do a thing with WWE 2K14 because we built a custom roster, like a full roster of just custom wrestlers, and we thought the characters were really cool. And what we were gonna do was play play like random matches, not actually us playing, but have, like simulate just random matches in the it was like a mode. It would have like all the shows throughout the week, and you could put your own custom show in there on whatever day. Aside from there was Raw and SmackDown and Saturday Night Superstars, and then the monthly pay-per-view. If only I can remember because it wasn't career mode, it was something else. But anyway, we were gonna simulate, night of matches, and then we would do like the commentary like it was like a real wrestling show, and we thought that would be cool. But then my friend got like cold feet. He was like, "Oh, everybody's doing Let's Plays now, so I don't want to do it because I don't want people to think we're doing it like for money or anything like that." I'm like, "We're not gonna make any fucking money off of it. Are you shitting me?" And he's like, "Still, I'm kind of uncomfortable about it." I'm like, "All right, yeah, I kind of get that." Because who wants to, even if you are a sellout, who wants to look like a sellout? That's a thing that you kind of want to keep on the down low. Or sort of like mask of dignity over your selloutness. So he's like, "I really don't want to do it." I'm like, "All right, whatever, I get it." But still, I spent like $150. I spent like $150 on this fucking capture device, and now we're not even gonna use it. And we spent like how many hours figuring out how to work the fucking thing. It's kind of a piece of shit. But yeah, so that's the way it was. So I was like, shit, there's gotta be something I can use this for, because I can't return it because I exchanged it once because the thing didn't work the first time. And I had to order separate cables and stuff like that because this shit wouldn't work. And it's like, it was just a big ordeal, and I didn't want to go through all that for nothing. So I figure, hey, I've always wanted to make ASMR videos. I've always wanted to give back. So why not just have some gameplay on the screen while I sort of talk over it in a sort of ASMR fashion. Not always just whispering or whatever. This is just sort of my first one, so I'm just sort of winging it. Like I didn't have any sort of plans of what I was going to talk about or anything like that. I sort of thought about it when I was playing, which was distracting. You shouldn't never play Dark Souls while you're distracted, son of a bitch. But playing, I got not distracted with playing because that's what I was doing, but I sort of forgot about what I was gonna say, and I just was focusing on playing. Not that it improved my playing at all. I really suck at Dark Souls. Like this is the second Dark Souls game I played because I totally skipped Demon Souls. That was partially because I saw Zero Punctuation, aka Yahtzee's review of Demon Souls, and it was a great review, but how he has nothing but bad things to say about games, unless it's like fucking Psychonauts or Monkey Island or whatever else he likes. And Psychonauts was a great game. I didn't really care for Monkey Island, though. It's just not my kind of thing. I think it was called Monkey Island. I'm pretty sure it was called Monkey Island, but, you know, I didn't like it anyway, so what the fuck do I care? But yeah, so I skipped Demon Souls. And then I skipped the first Dark Souls as well, because it was like, well, are they just fucking, like, revamping? Are they trying to just, like, take a second shot at Demon Souls? I'm like, I skipped why would I give a shit? I skipped the first one, so no, I'm not playing that one either. But, you know, I mean, Dark Souls 3 has only been out for, I think, a couple weeks. It's not been out for long. So, you know, we'll see what people say about it. But, you know, after Dark Souls 2 came out, people were like, oh, Dark Souls 1's definitely better. And it's like, I still haven't played it, but, I did play Dark Souls 2. That was the first Dark Souls game I played. And, you know, it kicked my ass. Like, you know, I think it, you know, that's what the Dark Souls games do. So, I wasn't, like, mad about it. And, you know, I did still enjoy it. It was a very different experience, because, you know, in terms of, like, RPGs and fantasy stuff like that, I'm used to, like, Elder Scrolls, which I fucking love. This part I quit out because I had to go to work, so I was playing before work, and, just to see if I could get the capture stuff right, but, yeah. Anyway, so I did play Dark Souls 2. I thoroughly enjoyed it until about, like, halfway through, I got sort of sick of it. I don't know, because it was like, I don't know, I think it was at one of the swamp stages. See, like, there were like 3 fucking swamp stages in a row, or levels or areas, whatever you want to call them, but there were like 3 swamps in a row, and it's like, gee, I hate swamps anyway. I hate them in real life, and I hate them in games. They're just unpleasant, and, you know, they're supposed to be, but, you know, that doesn't mean that I like it anymore. But, yeah, so I was like, I'm sick of fucking swamps, and, you know, I'd like to, just try something else out, so I stopped playing Dark Souls 2, and then, you know, Dark Souls 3 came out, and I was like, well, you know, I haven't had a challenge really lately, so, you know, I'll pick it up. I'm sick of Dark Souls 2, you know, I haven't touched it since I put it down, but, you know, I'm still sick of it. I don't want to go back to it. So, yeah, so I got Dark Souls 3, and, you know, I really like it. I like it a lot more than I liked 2. And, they did keep stuff. They did keep stuff from 2 that I liked that wasn't in 1, from what I heard anyway. I don't know from experience, but, they also put, I don't know, 3 seems to be the best of both worlds. Like, they took all the good stuff out of 1 and 2, and then put them together, and they sort of removed a lot of the bad stuff, but I see a lot of the stuff from 2 that I like, a lot of, like, the original Souls players don't like. And, you know, a lot of that stuff is like PvP, but, you know, I don't really do that anymore. So I don't care about that. I just like playing by my lonesome. I mean, I never really cared about PvP that much, or like multiplayer or anything like that. Like, I really, really, wanted, present and past tense. Anyway, I really, really, really want to get into like World of Warcraft and stuff like that, but it's like, I don't, and it's like, I have done it before, but like, I really don't want to play like with other people, because that's not why I play video games. Like, I play video games to like be by myself and escape and like be my own little world kind of thing, which is why I don't give a shit about like cheating or anything like that, because I don't play online, because I don't care about that. So, you know, if I want to cheat in my own game, that's whatever. You know, I normally you know, make sure that I beat the game like normally before I cheat. You know, just to, I guess, I don't know, it's sort of like a gamer's honor kind of thing. But you know, I don't give a shit about that. taking a swing at him, by myself without a party. It takes like a party of like fucking like 50 people or something like that just to take out like the cave that leads to him, let alone him. It's nuts. And I mean, I get it. It's like massively multiplayer, online, or big. But so I don't fold the game for it. It's just not my thing. And like I love, or I love the Knights of the Old Republic series, KOTOR 1 and 2. Two of my favorite games of all time, bar none. I mean, they're in the top 5. I have other favorites, but yeah, I love those. And then when I heard about the Old Republic coming out, I'm like, yes, finally some other stuff with the Old Republic Star Wars universe. And I found out it was an MMO, and my heart just sank through the floor, through the ground. I was so disappointed when I heard it was going to be an MMO, and I'm like, well, shit, I gotta try it anyway, so I bought it. Like, before it was free to play, like, at, like, launch day, I bought it, and, booted up and everything like that. I mean, it was fine, but, very quickly, it introduces, like, the, what do they call them, flashpoints. They call them flashpoints in SWTOR. I don't know if they call it that in other ones. I've only ever played World of Warcraft and, Star Wars The Old Republic. But yeah, and then the flashpoint missions, it's like almost mandatory that you have somebody else unless you're like extremely over leveled, but sorry about that, I'll try to cut that out. But I might forget, so anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the flashpoint missions, like, you basically need multiplayer, and, like, I do have a friend that plays it with me, like, occasionally, but we don't like to play it because, like, when we do it, we, like, dedicate, like, days to it. That was me attempting to collect my throat quietly. I'll have to remember to cut that out. But yeah, like, when we would play SWTOR, we would dedicate, like, days to it. So, wow, it's been like 20 minutes and I'm still grinding. That's what I'm doing here, by the way, on the nights, is I'm grinding for souls so I can level up, but I'm like level 40, so I need like 10,000 souls to level up. Because, I'm really bad at this game, so I need all the help I can get. But I think I'm gonna speed this up at this point, because, I do more stuff later on, and this is just boring to watch. I guess boring helps ASMR sometimes, but anyway, we dedicate days to playing SWTOR, and, we'd want to make a lot of progress, but, progress is, like, really slow to come in SWTOR, unlike World of Warcraft, because, like, just because of the way grinding is, because, we like to be, like, incredibly overpowered for everything, because, we just love the spectacle of, like, these big bosses, and it's supposed to be hard, and you take them out in, like, 5 swings. It's great. It's really great to see if you haven't done it. But anyway, we love doing that, but, that's not even an option, because it's hard enough to stay, like, on par with what the level, or with what the planet, stage, area, whatever. It's hard enough to stay on par with what that, like, with what level the game wants you to be at that point, because experience comes so slowly. after, because fighting stops being fun when you stop getting decent rewards out of it. So that's why I don't really play SWTOR. And they did fix it recently with, I don't know if it was something about like a temporary event or something like that, and I don't know if that was the event or if it was just a patch, but I subscribed again because, you know, it's free to play now, but I subscribed again when they did that, you know, to show my support for it. But like 2 months after I did that, we stopped playing because, you know, it still wasn't enough. I mean, it was much, much, much better, but it still wasn't nearly enough. It was still, like, the rate was still far too slow. And, you know, I don't want to pay $15 a month to be frustrated, you know, and not really have any fun with it. So I've only ever gotten a few planets in to any given storyline. I've heard a lot of the endings suck anyway, so maybe I'm not missing out. Here I'm about to fight the dancer of the Boreal Valley. Yeah, I know, I couldn't remember her name until it showed up on the screen, but whatever. Y'all can read, can you? Yeah, you can see how well this went. This was, I think, my third overall attempt. This part here. You know, my first in the video, but yeah. A third attempt, so. Because I heard about that, when was it? It's not really a glitch. I heard about that, the way that you can get the dancer to show up early to get access to the top of the chapel, which has some, like, really good shit, especially early game, which is where I am. And, you know, like I said, I need all the help I can get. And, you know, I heard about the way to do it sort of cheaply, so I was trying to cheese her, but I found out the hard way that, you need to be online, apparently, because the way that you cheese her is it's probably going to be patched, like, by the end of the week anyway, but yeah, you summon the Master Swordsman, who is an NPC, summon, and he's down where you fight, Vort, I think is his name. Anyway, he's the giant, like, frost knight who, like, crawls on all fours and is, like, crazy, with his movements and stuff. You summon him, and then you bring him to the fight with the dancer, and you quit out in the middle of the fight, and then when you come back, you either summon the swordsman again, or you still have the swordsman. Either way, you bring the swordsman to the fight again, and this time he's, like, invincible. So that's the way you cheat, and you just let him do all the fighting for you. So that's the way you cheese her. And I was planning on doing that, but you need to be online to summon even NPCs, which I thought was fucking stupid. Like, you could summon NPCs offline in Dark Souls 2, and so that's what I was expecting. But no, you gotta get that PS Plus, and that's why I don't play online, is because I can't. You know, because even though I don't do PvP or interact with anybody, I still like seeing all of the different players going through. You know, I like seeing their ghosts and stuff like that, and I like to see all the messages that they leave, warning me of upcoming troublesome fatties. But yeah, I like that part of it, and also the fucking summons. Because, you know, like, I don't like playing against people, but sometimes I like playing with people, like, briefly. Like, I like the way Dark Souls does it, where you summon them for a little bit and then they go somebody, I could have summoned like a really good, well, you know, as long as I lay down a summon sign, but anyway, I could have summoned like a really good player to come and help me with the dancer. And, you know, and I wouldn't even have been choosing her, you know, because I'm not so useless in a fight that I can't help, but, you know, the other player would definitely be carrying me. And, you know, I'm okay with that. You know, this is only my second Souls game. I didn't spend too much time on Dark Souls 2, and I've just started playing this one, so, you know, I don't feel bad about being bad. You know, not to mention, I don't know many people that are actually good at this game. I mean, you know, there's like Lobos Jr., he's like fucking amazing at all the From Software games. Oh, I did play Bloodborne too, but, my friend kind of pissed me off about it because he kept like giving me all the answers and like telling me how to play when we were playing together, and so he just sort of like turned me off to the whole thing. Plus, I don't know, I hate the Victorian area, just like aesthetically. I don't know what bothers me about it so much. It's just, I don't know, the whole thing is just, it just doesn't appeal to me aesthetically. And so, you know, the whole thing is set in, you know, it's like Dark Souls, in the Victorian era, and it's like, I don't know, the mood of Dark Souls is already like really unpleasant, and I already kind of don't like that everything's just gray. Like, I mean, you know, there's like more colors like later in the environments, but like for a while, and even they have like gray overtones, but for a while it's just like straight gray, like just dust and castles and all that, and like it's like that's fine, but I mean, you know, I get why some people like that. You know, it's to set the tone of like this dreary, downtrodden, you know, miserable world, and it does a really good job of setting that tone. But I don't know. That doesn't mean I have to like it. I can't remember what I was talking about. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I might. No, I think I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna stop there. We'll try to upload something tomorrow. I'll get some more gameplay on, and yeah. Let me know if you guys like this. If my, you know, about my whispering technique, so to speak. I know I'm going sort of like up and down, because, you know, when I'm going like extra quiet, I'm sort of concentrating, like right now, but, when I'm like getting louder, it's like, because I'm more into like what I'm saying than how I'm saying it. I'll work a bit on coming up on this son of a bitch. He pissed me off. I died to him like less than 10 times, but like probably like 6 times total. And you know, it's not even dying that pisses me off so much in this game. It's because like you never get like 2 chances in a row to fight somebody, especially, you know, like a boss or a mini boss in this case. Dude, I was so glad after I beat him that he didn't respawn after I sat at the bonfire, because I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. But anyway, you know, it's not that, it's not the dying that pisses me off, it's the, yeah, it's that you don't get 2 chances in a row, because you have to, like, fucking, like, you start all the way back at that whatever bonfire you were at last, and then you have to, like, work your way back towards the boss, and then you have to, like, remember his attack patterns after you've been, like, remembering everything else that happened in the level, and it's like, if it was ASMR inducing, or if you're watching, because like I normally don't watch ASMR videos. I like listen to them on my phone in bed while I'm trying to sleep. But you know, if you're like watching it on your computer and like Dark Souls gameplay isn't very ASMR inducing, then let me know and I won't put in like really tense games like From Software games in the ASMR videos. And also like let me know how my whispering is. Anything I can improve, you know. I'm always looking for constructive criticism. I mean, I don't know, say whatever you want, I don't really give a shit. I'll do my best to please everyone, because, you know, that's why I'm here. But, yeah, that's enough of my psychotic ramblings. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.